Well, it looked good early for Tennessee, but Georgia gets the win 31-17, and now Tennessee starts looking to see who does what, who beats who does Tennessee need to lose to get into the playoffs, still taking care of business, winning the last two. And oh, by the way, Zakai Ziegler just made another shot. That and much more coming up next in the Food City Locker Room, presented by Garza Law. This is the Players Show. So we already start this situation where we start looking at other teams, seeing who's beating who and all that good stuff. Mark Packer along with Chris Brown, Jason Swain. I guess initial thoughts over the Georgia loss.
Yeah, I mean, obviously not the result that we wanted. I think we didn't play as well as we wanted to play. I think there's still a lot of opportunities left out there. But now you got to go take care of business and do what you do and control the games that you can control and win these last two games.
The game stunk. I mean, you were up 10-0. And, his defense was great all season long.
Yeah.
And had their worst game in the worst moment, actually. Carson Beck has been struggling, but he was perfect. He was Matthew Stafford out there last night. And so you got to regroup. You don't control your own destiny now. So you got to go out there. You got to beat UTEP. You got to beat Vanderbilt, a team that looking forward to beating you because you've been beating them down. And you got to hope some other teams lose to get into the playoffs.
So what have you got to work on right now? I mean, obviously you've got another, JV.
We've got 30 minutes, man.
Obviously you've got a game coming up on Saturday, which is, kind of a scrimmage, and then Vanderbilt's better. Listen, what have you got to work on the next 2 weeks?
Well, obviously there's a lot you got to work on. You still have to figure out your offense. Like, what is the identity of your offense? Obviously you have a guy in D-Samp who's very special. D-Samp does a lot of different things. I think the offensive line blocked well. He still rushed for over 100 yards, but what are we trying to do? Are we trying to get the ball downfield? Are we trying to play fast?
It's week 11,
Are we
by
not?
the way.
That's my point. Are we not playing fast? So we're still kind of hearing the same things we heard all season was we're almost there. And I think we have to figure out that identity within these next 2 weeks kind of going forward. And I think that'll be a big player in what happens.
Are we talking about winning the rest of the regular season games, or are we talking about what we need to fix to try to win the championship?
I'm just saying right now, I don't know what you're trying to do. You don't know what you're trying to do. You don't know if you're playing in the SEC championship game. If enough things happen, you could still play in that thing. If enough things happen, you could still be in the playoff. You could still win a national championship.
Chris makes a good point about identity. I mean, you look at this offense in the first 2 years, Josh Heupel, the offense was up-tempo, the offense had explosive plays, and you had to do that to take up for a defense that wasn't that good. Well, in the last 2 seasons, the defense has been better than the offense. And this year, the defense has had to hold the offense down when they had halves where they didn't score points. And because of that, the tempo has been non-existent. So what are you? Are you an up-tempo team? Are you not an up-tempo team? Are you an explosive team? Or are you a methodical offense? Like, what is the identity? And I think you have to figure that out.
And I think just piggybacking off of that, when Hendon Hooker was here and we had all these guys when we were up tempo, we still ran the football, right? So we still were able to run the ball. We still had explosive guys. We still had guys that ran the ball, rushed for 1,000 yards. So D-Samp is doing that. Obviously, he scored a lot more touchdowns, been a lot more efficient in doing that. But what is the identity of our offense? Obviously, Nico is Nico. I think we're still trying to figure out receivers, who can catch the ball, who can't catch the ball. But like you said, it's week 11.
It seemed to me, from where I sat on the couch in my spot, I wasn't on the sideline like you or doing what you're doing, but it seemed like they got in a nice rhythm early of being aggressive on offense. It wasn't the same thing they'd been doing all the time, and then they kind of got away from it.
Well, they got away from it because Georgia got you away from it.
Started blitzing.
Georgia made adjustments and started bringing some pressure. And then that's when you have to make adjustments. And we didn't see those adjustments being made. Josh Heupel talked about how they got to coach better, they got to play better. But, yeah, they got to coach better. You look at Mike Bobo, who used to be there a different stint as offense coordinator. He has won an award there as a top offense coordinator. He was masterful. He did a great job of getting their tight ends involved. Georgia's receivers have dropped more passes than anyone in the SEC, and yet they were able to be successful in the passing game. Why is that? They had a great plan.
They had a great plan. I think our guys, we just didn't adjust. For whatever reason, we didn't adjust. We didn't call plays down the field. We didn't call shot plays. I think early in the game, we saw what we could do. We saw our offense be effective. Georgia made adjustments. Kirby Smart started blitzing. He started key blitzing. I think we saw our offensive line, again, struggle a little bit. We had a false start penalty, but At the end of the day, we didn't make the adjustments we need to make. We scored 17 in the first half. When you do that with the defense that we have, you should be able to score some points in the second half to make it better.
I don't want to ask about defensive adjustments because you only had one game this year where it didn't really go the way you wanted, and that was this game. Other than that, there were no adjustments to ever be made with the defense.
Yeah, Carson Beck played a hell of a game. I mean, he really did. I think you saw him bounce back. He played better than he has all year. He made some great throws. I mean, there was a lot of throws that he made. Guys are there, and the throw was just better. I mean, these guys came up, they stepped up, they made plays. They had a great plan of getting the tight ends the ball, and I think that kind of opened some stuff up for everybody else.
Well, he didn't start great.
Yeah.
He started off shaky, and what got him going was a offsides penalty that allowed him to be aggressive.
Third down,
the
double
penalties.
clap. Third down,
So
double clap.
you got guys lining up off sides, and those are plays that can beat you or spark the opposing team, and that's what happened. He never cooled down from that moment.
You know, from that moment, it's funny you say that. I remember watching that play, and I literally said to myself, like you just said, stay on sides, it's going to do the double clap, and he does it. So, again, we have to play with discipline. Our guys have to learn to do that. Those little small penalties got him going, and now we have a whole different ball game from nothing.
I was looking at that truck.
Well, I
right
mean,
there.
you're over here throwing your arms up. I thought you had a point
I was
to
throwing
make.
my arms up because Carson Beck looks like, freaking DJ Shockley or Michael Vick out there.
You are just upset. Okay, so here's the thing. You're comparing now to the best team you've played this year. Obviously, bad time for that. We can spend a lot of time talking about it on this show, but you do start scoreboard watching now. Texas and Texas A&M are going to play around Thanksgiving. If Texas wins, they're the regular season champion. If they lose, there could be a 6-way tie for the regular season title. If you're Tennessee and you look at the SEC rankings right there, the SEC standings, you become a fan of anyone who plays Missouri. Because if Missouri loses their last 2 games, their Alabama's strength of schedule becomes worse than Tennessee's. Tennessee could then still slide into the SEC championship game. You become a Florida fan this week. Lagway, the freshman quarterback's been playing well. They play Ole Miss. At this point in time with where you are, thinking that 5 teams that are from the SEC will get into the playoff, you need somebody to fall off the backside.
100%. There's a logjam, and I think this is kind of what everyone was afraid of in the SEC. With us, we have to beat UTEP, and then we have to go to Vandy and take care of business there. That is all we can control, and then you hope and you wish that all the other things happen. All this stuff is irrelevant if we don't do that.
Hey, Swain, by the way, one other thing I didn't get to. If A&M beats Texas, you could have a 6-way tie for the regular season championship of the Southeastern Conference.
What happens after that?
And then what happens with all your tiebreakers? A 6-way tie, and if you say that only 5 teams get in out of the playoff, what in the world do you do then?
Well, when Chris and I played, the only way you can win a championship was to get to Atlanta and win the SEC. You don't really have to do that anymore. And so do we really, really, really want to get to Atlanta, or do we just want to get into the playoffs? Because I don't know if you really need to play an extra game.
I don't know. I don't know that I know the answer to that. And how does the committee look at the teams that are in the playoff? Because somebody's getting there with 2 losses. It could be both teams with 2 losses.
It could be both teams. This is going to be very tricky. Again, you just got to control what you can control and not worry about anything else.
Well, you need help.
Yeah.
I mean, you need help. You need Notre Dame to lose.
Yeah, I mentioned a lot of things.
Yeah, you need Notre Dame to lose to
Boise
Army.
State hanging out there.
You need, Florida to beat Ole Miss. Like, you need some help. Because
You may have gotten help that BYU lost to a really bad Kansas team.
You need more. You
need more of that.
Yeah, you need more of that.
You might now be pulling for Ohio State to blow out Indiana and expose them for the frauds that we think that they are. I mean,
you think that. I don't know if we think that.
The fraud that I think that they are.
Don't put us in there.
There's a whole lot of watching. We're gonna have a little conversation during the commercial break about all this. Come back with that and much more as the Kai Ziegler's in studio. We've also got one of Tennessee's better defensive players in studio tonight. We'll have them in coming up next on The Locker Room.
He said we.
Yeah.
Zakai Ziegler's appearance on The Locker Room is brought to you by Lakewood Capital Group.
Attention shoppers, don't forget to ask our certified butchers for great recipe tips.
This is an authentic butcher shop,
where meat is hand-cut in-store, beef is ground fresh daily, and expert advice from a certified butcher
is always free of charge.
Free advice? That's what I call value. The quality I crave. The value I count on.
Nobody does food like Food City.
At Glass Doctor, our trained specialists are experts at fixing foggy and cracked glass.
Looks great.
You're all set.
What we can't fix is your view.
Call the Glass Doctor, we'll fix your pains. Oh, yeah.
I was coming home and a lady hit me head on. It totaled my car. It fractured my right heel and it bruised me up really badly. The Garza Law firm, they were very compassionate, but yet they were very detailed. They didn't let me down. They never stopped fighting. It helped me regain confidence in law firms. I would definitely recommend the Garza Law firm.
The Garza Law firm. Let us help.
I was the star around here until Glass Doctor installed this perfect shower enclosure. Now they look at me like, well, there you go.
Call the Glass Doctor, we'll fix your pains. Oh, yeah.
The Locker Room is brought to you by Food City, NPG Brain and Concussion, Knoxville Smiles, Glass Doctor, and Garza Law.
Okay, hey, so here's the deal. Some of the best conversations are had during the commercial break. And I remember, okay, here we go. That's fine. If you say during commercial break, you say it on the air. I remember over the years when we've talked with basketball players, and Zakai could talk about this in a little bit, you get to the SEC tournament and there's that conversation. Do you really want to win a bunch of games and get to Sunday? Or do you want to just go ahead and be done and rest?
You know, I think Swain just made a good point. We've had a lot of guys injured, and I'll let him kind of go more into that. But do you really want to go there? I think at this point with us.
To Atlanta, to the SEC championship.
If you're a one-loss team, we're having a different conversation, right, going to Atlanta. Now you're a two-loss team. You've had a lot of guys banged up. Do you really want to go there, or is it time to go, we are trying to get to the 12-team playoff, and from that point, we're going to build and go, and now it's a one-week season every single week?
I remember over the last couple of years, we've seen champions win without winning their own conference. And the recipe to get to a championship has changed. Like, Nico was this close from not playing against Georgia. Dylan Sampson banged up. You have Deshaun Bishop, backup running back, who has not played in 2 games. Linebackers, they took a hit with Keenan Peely. You're one injury away from playing nickel probably the whole game. So do you really want to go to Atlanta? I mean, I get wanting to be SEC champions. It means something. But the bigger picture is national championship.
100% the bigger picture, and we have to think about that. Our last game's here in 2 weeks, right? So Atlanta, you have that. You'll have a lot of time off, a lot of time to get healthy, minus going to Atlanta. So I think now, control your own destiny. Go out there, beat UTEP, beat Vandy, hope for some help, and now you go, and again, it's a one-game season.
Here's what I would want Tennessee fans to guard against, and let's just go ahead and have this quick conversation. If you win your next 2 games, you finish 10-2. If you don't make the playoff at 10-2, are you disappointed? 10-2. 10-2 around here. That ain't been happening for a while.
Yeah, it hadn't been happening, but you miss out on the opportunity, right? It hadn't happened in a while, but I think, again, the expectation was to make the playoff. When they went to a 12-team playoff, the expectation was to make the playoff. So 10-2 is fine. You shouldn't have lost to the Arkansas team. If you don't lose to Arkansas, we're not having this conversation. So, yes, 10-2 is good. Yes, we understand where we've come from. But we're trying to make the playoffs.
Listen,
you
made great points.
11-2 2 years ago.
Okay,
and went to the Orange Bowl.
Yeah.
And didn't make it.
But it's time to take a step forward, right? It's time to take a step forward.
Okay, so you're saying you're fine with 10-2 and everybody being disappointed?
I'm fine with saying the goal was to get to the college football playoff, and if you don't get there, you failed your goal, regardless of the record.
And again, you say disappointment. Yes, I think people are disappointed we're not going to be in the playoff. They're happy that we won 10 games. They're happy that we went 10-2. We'll still get recruits.
If we're not going to be in the playoff.
People will still show up. But
you can't treat expectations, it can't be convenient to you.
When it's time.
Yeah, like, look at the basketball program. They went to the Elite Eight, okay? Their goal next season is get to a Final Four. They're going to be disappointed if they make it to Sweet 16.
I guarantee you Zakai's going to be disappointed.
The baseball program won a national championship. Yep. They're not going to just be like, oh, it was a good season if they get to the Super Regionals and not get to the World Series. You have to have high expectations, and you have to be prepared to say, we didn't reach our goal if you don't get there. You can't move the goalposts when you don't get there.
Okay, all right, fine. Let's bring Zakai in then.
Let's do it.
Okay.
What's Zakai thinking about that?
Tennessee gets the win, 103-68. Zakai just scored again, 7 of 8 from the field today. He was on today. That's great. Igor did better than you. But anyway, so here's the question, okay? If you guys go 35-1 and don't win a national championship, was it a good year or a disappointment?
Disappointment.
Thank you.
Like, the regular season, yeah, it means something. Like, it's hard to do that in the regular season versus all the top teams you play against, but the end goal is national championship, like they were saying before.
Zakai, you've been here obviously a long time, man. Obviously, you've played with a lot of different players, a lot of different special players. Mm-hmm. What is special about this year with the guys that you have early on trying to build that chemistry for this long run that you just said y'all are trying to have?
Yeah, I would really just say the depth. Like, we, in practice, you know, we go against each other, we battle, but it's 10 guys battling against each other every single day that we know could go out there at any given time and actually do an impact for us.
It's hard to get a compliment from Rick Barnes, but you got one tonight. He said that you were excellent. You were great today. What did you do today that you think really impressed Rick Barnes for you to get that compliment?
I don't know, because I'm actually surprised that he said that, but shoot, I don't know. I feel like I had control over the whole game, if I'm being honest, and anytime he feels like that, when he was asking me, what you think we should run, and I was telling him and it was working, I feel like he was just like, hey, that's the coach out there. I don't really got to do my job today. Z got it.
Hey, Z, what was the celebration on that three when you shot it?
Which one?
The one.
Which one?
That one.
That one? I don't remember.
I
don't really remember.
I like it.
So did you still say Ricky B? Do you do that in the huddle?
Yeah, that's my guy, Ricky B. I tell him that to his face. That's my guy right there. You know, me and Coach, we got a really close bond. You know, throughout the years, like the connection that me and him built is really strong.
Can Bishop Boswell call him Ricky B?
Nah. I don't know. He might say it, and then Coach might feel some type of way. But you know,
it's like Friday, right? When he leave, I'll be talking again.
Hey, last thing, they're telling me to get to break, but I do want to ask this. Does it feel different for you? You mentioned something about it. Do you feel like you're the leader and almost an assistant coach now?
Oh, definitely. And, you know, throughout each and every year, like my role has grown. Just being a leader, you know, having Josiah and Santi, those were our leaders. But with them leaving, I feel like it's me and Jamal out there, no matter what. And I feel like Jamal out there, you know, a lot of stuff that he does, it might not show up on the stat sheet, but he's definitely one of the best leaders I've been around, and he holds the team apart together just as long with me.
Sounds good. Well, man, congratulations. You're 4-0 right now. Hopefully we'll see you again next week, okay?
All right, my son.
Sounds good. I didn't say little Mark. Jalen Smith is coming in next, Tennessee defensive player. But by the way, as we go to break, if you'd like one of those Get Nealon Loud shirts and support Zakai's nephews that have hydrocephalus, scan the QR code, get you one of those shirts right now. We'll be right back with Jalen Smith for the Food City Player Perspective right after this.
The Locker Room is brought to you by Food City, Exterior Home Solutions, D1 Training, Lakewood Capital Group, Ted Russell Ford, and Garza Law.
Attention shoppers, don't forget to ask our certified butchers for great recipe tips.
This is an authentic butcher shop, where meat is hand-cut in-store, beef is ground fresh daily, and expert advice from a certified butcher is always free of charge.
Free advice? That's what I call value. The quality I crave, the value I count on.
Nobody does food like Food City.
I see Marco's role in the community as somebody that people can look up to.
Marcos Garza is very thoughtful. He pays attention to the needs of the people in the community.
He's somebody that's very unselfish, somebody that's going to always be there.
Marcos Garza will work as hard as he can to get the best results for you.
In the future, no matter where I'm playing, no matter what the team I'm playing for, I'll always be on Garza's team.
The Garza Law Firm is Mama ZZ approved.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Hey, stop!
on, baby. It's game time. Let's go. Hey, Sterl, you ready to go to the top? Man, I can't believe you guys been doing this for 25 years. Oh, baby.
Now this is what I call a rooftop party.
We have 25 years experience in roofing and exterior renovations, and we're backed by the best.
Are you ready to get your rooftop party started? Give us a call, 865-524-5888.
Knoxville Smiles depend on us to make you smile better. Knoxville Smiles, are you happy with your smile today? Knoxville Smiles, we're all about smiles.
Hey Lance, what makes you smile?
Pancake blocks.
What's up, guys? It's Devin Driscoll, owner of D1 Sports Training. We know in 2024, convenience is king, so we have locations not just in Hardin Valley, but now one in Maryville, in Farragut, and in Morristown, with more soon to come. So keep an eye out. We want to bring D1 Sports Training to everyone in East Tennessee.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jody Griffin. I'm a dentist here in Knoxville, Tennessee. In 22, I had a wakeboard tower hit me on the head and give me a concussion. In my office, I show x-rays to my patients so they can see their teeth. I needed somebody to do the same thing for my brain, so I went to MPG. They did an EEG of my brain, and they were able to show me the activity of my brain and give me a diagnosis and a treatment plan. So I choose MPG because brains is what they do, and that's all they do.
Time now for the Food City Player's Perspective. A look inside the locker room with the Vols.
We're lucky we get a chance to sit down with Jalen Smith, a young linebacker, a lot of promise, big-time future from Grayson High School. You guys won a championship there where some of the best high school footballers played. Tell me this, how did Grayson High School prepare you for SEC football?
Well, being from Grayson, is, great coaching, great atmosphere, big lights, big people, everybody's community. And so being out there in that scheme and defense, it just allowed me to play fast, play physical. Just like here, just same type of role, just being out there with my teammates and my guys. I had a great D-line there and a great D-line here, so it definitely prepared me.
When you're a young player, it's all about learning and soaking up as much information as possible. Some of that you do in wins and some of that you do in losses as well. What have you learned this year as a young player in losses and in wins?
And wins, just take it with a grain of salt, just move on to the next one. Every win is a big win, but, you always got to look forward to the next one, Never dwell on a loss or a win and just play the next play, next drive, just next week. And losses, just to make sure that you regroup, just come back stronger, prepare better, and just go out and fight.
I'm from Alabama, so anytime we play at Alabama, being a Tennessee player, you always circle that game on the calendar. Did you do that this week playing against Georgia?
I did. Being from Georgia, I definitely, wanted to get that one. But, at the end of the day, it's a tough loss. But, we got to regroup, refocus, and just come back and be stronger, be better, and that's it.
What has Kenan Peely meant to you? Last 2 years, he's been hurt, but he's been a leader. He's went down to SEC Media Days this year was in Dallas, represented Tennessee. Well, what has he meant to you in the linebacker room?
He's meant a lot to us. Kenan's just a strong leader, strong person, strong-willed, and even through injuries, he's always been there for us, been a face, just a familiar face just for us, and being able to coach us up when we need it, coach us up on the field, off the field, just looking at different things, looking at different keys, and he's helped us in a lot of ways.
Walk me through a linebacker meeting with William Inge as the coach leading the room. How's that like?
Man, it's a cool atmosphere. It's calm, relaxed. He makes everybody feel at home and feel at peace. He's not going to be on you all the time. He just, wants to see everybody do well and eat. And just like I said, being able to be in his room and be with him is very common, and it makes you want to play better, run through a wall for him. So it's a great atmosphere.
Yeah, football is the ultimate team game, but for the team to be really good, like the individuals have to be good too. What are some personal goals that you have kind of set out for yourself this year? There's 2 games left. The offseason is around the corner. What are some goals that you've made for yourself to be a better player next year too?
Better player, just more so be a better leader, on and off the field, just make sure everybody's on the same page from a defense standpoint. I'm a linebacker, so we run the defense and, we make sure that everybody's set. So I just say more so speaking up and speaking my mind, making sure that everybody, right in headspace and making sure that we're ready every single play.
Well, Being a linebacker at Tennessee is like being the quarterback of the offense, but Jalen Smith is the quarterback of the defense, and look forward to seeing him the next couple of years here at Tennessee, guys.
Yeah, be a couple of big games coming up. Finish 10-2, and these are important ones.
Very important games. I mean, we have to control what we can control and hope for help for everyone else, and I think our guys are going to be focused on that. Look for us to have a big game against UTEP this week, and again, push forward to Vandy and take care of business there.
By the way, you got a shirt to give him.
Got a present for you, man.
Appreciate you.
There you go. Get Kneeling Loud.
There you
You
go.
know all about that.
All right. Hey, keys to a successful week coming up this week when we come back on the Food City Locker Room presented by Garza Law.
Hi, I'm Laura Ash, your West Knoxville State Farm agent. I've been here in the Renaissance for 17 years, and I'd love to help your young football players or anyone with their car insurance, home insurance, and life insurance. Give me a call at Laura Ash State Farm.
I see Marco's role in the community as somebody that people can look up to.
Marcos Garza is very thoughtful. He pays attention to the needs of the people in the community.
He's somebody that's very unselfish, somebody that's going to always be there.
Marcos Garza will work as hard as he can to get the best results for you.
In the future, no matter where I'm playing, no matter what the team I'm playing for, I'll always be on Garza's team.
The Garza Law Firm is Mama ZZ approved.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Hi, I'm David Ball, National Sales Manager here at Legend Fitness. Legend Fitness has been built on longevity and quality. Our racks are fully welded and has the least amount of bolts in the industry, made to stand up to the test of time. Because at Legend Fitness, we deliver quality and we want our customers to be Legend strong.
Hey, Tim Hoskins here from Covenant Sports Medicine. I'm the corporate manager of sports medicine, and I want to speak a little bit to our community partners and relationships that we have. We partner with FC Alliance Soccer, LeConte Center in Pigeon Forge, Johnson University, numerous high schools in and around the area, AAU basketball, Morristown Landing, travel hockey, volleyball, lacrosse, you name it, we're probably involved. What a lot of people don't know about Covenant Health is we're a nonprofit, community-based healthcare delivery system. We provide services in your community. If you ever need help with some event medicine or sporting event, scan the QR code at the bottom. Covenant Health, our mission is to improve lives through better health.
Community banking is about location and much more. It's about family. We reside in your community. We are a part of your community. At Commercial Bank, our commitment extends beyond the walls of our branches. It's displayed each day in the opportunities we provide, the money we give back, and the time we commit, all to help improve the lives of the people, families, and businesses that make our communities great. Commercial Bank, life made better.
Keys to Victory is brought to you by Garza Law.
Keys to victory, show up. Okay, Chris, go.
I'll be quick. Playing against UTEP, take care of business, get some guys some playing time. Defense bounce back, do what you need to do, take care of business, and obviously special teams. Saw a couple kind of splash plays.
Boo.
Make a splash play, take one to the house.
Boo, come on
Yeah,
now.
I want to score 28 points in the first half. I think it's important because I think it's important to get guys out of the game, Nico and other players. Improve the run defense. That has to be better. The last 3 games, it's kind of slipped. I want to see quarterback pressure, no sacks versus Carson Beck. Got to get to the quarterback a little bit more. And I want to see a Boo Carter return for a touchdown.
Dude, he's sick, man. We saw him in high school at Bradley Central.
He's special.
He's special.
Okay, I know it's the same number because that's what Austin Price always says. It's the same number. That's why you compare him. But Devin Hester, he looks a lot like Devin Hester.
He's special, man. He's very special.
Yeah. Go recruit more Boos.
Get more Boos.
Line of the night right there from Swain. All right, we'll see you next Sunday night right here in the Food City Locker Room presented by Garza Law.